All right, welcome to the weekly analysis, 11/19, Thanksgiving week. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I had to pull over because I was driving. Okay, just to go over the summary of the trades last week. I know you guys just went over a few of the trades that we took and we didn't do. So basically, hold on. I'm driving. Kim, are you on?
Yep.
Can you go to Discord and start reading my stuff till I pull over, please?
Yep.
Thank you so much.
So we're going over this week's. You want to go over last week's?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. The first one was AUD. Are you driving?
Yes, I'm getting ready to pull over.
Oh, okay. The first one was AUD CAD, and it was bullish. It did not tap into the wick of the body of the weekly order block. However, it tapped into the 4-hour bullish order block on the 5 a.m. candle, Eastern candle, for a possible 165 pips.
Did you catch some pips, Kim?
I caught pips. I did. Thank you, sir.
You're my hero, Kim.
Huh?
You're my hero. Okay. The Kim said 155 pips.
The tide go out. Okay, Kim, I parked.
Okay.
I'm good now. Thank you,
Okay.
baby.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
Okay. You're
All
welcome.
right. So what Kim was saying about AUD, I can make my screen big. So what I tried to do this week, I tried to say where it tapped into if you decided to take that trade, so you will know what it was actually doing. So I tried to do that, hoping that it will be more helpful this week. Oh my gosh, y'all seeing my screen, aren't you? Crud. Okay. So anyway, like she said, it did not, AUD CAD did not tap into the weekly order block, but it did tap into a 4-hour bullish. And it was on the 5 a.m. Eastern candle. That's where the tap in was. So it did not make it to the bullish order block or the wick, but that's where you were able to jump in if you wanted to take that trade. AUD Chef, this is one of those scenarios that Todd always tell us that we continue to buy or sell depending on what it was. So in this particular case, it was a bearish order block. And so we always get in for the retracement. And so, yes, please, Kim, do that. So this scenario, we continue to buy until it starts to sell. It tapped into a 4-hour order block Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We did not get the bearish order block until Friday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. There was 94 pips possible to buy up until the weekly OB. It bought up past the weekly golden zone. So what I was saying here, it's like Todd said, get in for the buy, and until it starts to sell, then you take those pips. So this is one of those opportunities for us to do that. The next one, AUDJPY, it did as projected. It tapped into the 78 of the weekly OB. It was a possible 96 pips for the sale. This doesn't include the possible pips for the buy up. That's if you did the retracement. That was a possible of 173 pips. CAD Chef. This pair meandered for the week. 84 possible pips. CAD had a lot of red folder news this week, as we know, because a lot of us traded CAD pairs. CAD JPY, there was a 4-hour bearish order block from Monday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, that was tapped into Monday at 1 o'clock. So there was a 9 a.m. Order block that was formed, and it was tapped into basically the next order block at 1 p.m. There was a possible 143 pips for the sale on that one. EuroCAD did as projected. It did not tap into the OB or the wick on the weekly. If you tried to trade this pair, you would have needed to hedge if you entered off the 4 hour. There was a possible 212 pips, hard pips I said to get, because depending on where your entry was off of the 4 hour order block, if you use a stop loss based on that 4 hour order block, it would have tapped you out. But if you hedged, you would have been okay and could have got those 212 pips. Euro USD, it didn't do as projected. This was a scenario where earlier, one of those that we continue to sell until it starts to buy. It did not tap into the wick or the OB on the weekly. There was a 4 hour bearish order B that was tapped into Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern for the retracement, 114 pips possible. GU, it did as projected. It didn't tap into the weekly OB. However, there was a 4 hour bullish order block it tapped into on Tuesday at 1 a.m. Eastern. It bought up, it shouldn't have been but it bought up to a weekly imbalance before it began to sell. There was a possible 247 pips there. NZD Chef, it did not do as projected. This is a scenario like the other previous ones that we buy up until it sells. It bought up 155 pips. There was a couple of entries available on the 4 hour time frame, 155 possible pips from one position. So there was multiple bullish order blocks on this one off the 4 hour that we could have got into. So you could have doubled or tripled your pips on NZD Chef. NZD JPY, it didn't do as projected. This was also one of those same scenarios that we continue to do the buy up if you're doing a retracement until it sells. It tapped into a 4 hour order block from Friday. It tapped in Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. I can't talk today. 200 pips possible for this one position. I really don't do much with the indices, so I just said it did not do as projected. It was selling most of the week, 132 pips. There was a lot of U.S. news this week, as we are aware of. Same thing for U.S. 30. No, it's not. I don't know. I have to leave it to the experts on those, but it didn't do as projected. It was selling most of the week. It was at 810 pips. There was a lot of U.S. news this week. So please, anybody who trade those, you're more than welcome to correct me. USD Chef, this pair meandered a lot for this week. If you entered off of the 4 hour, you have needed to hedge as well. There was a 4 hour bullish OB tapped into the wick Tuesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern. From that entry, you could have got 136 pips. So that's the summary for this week. Once again, there was a lot of pips available. Thank you, Kim. You're awesome. So next, these are the order blocks for the week. I stopped color coding it if there was other order blocks around. So GJ, there was a bullish order block, but there's a couple of order blocks above and below it. So, you have to be careful on that one. I just wanted to put that note out there just in case you just went off.
Hey, quit making stuff up.
There is some order blocks around it. I'm just saying what I saw. That's why I say correct me at any time, sir. But there was more than one order block near where this week order block was.
Is
so I
is
just put an asterisk.
GJ's order block on top of or below the moving average?
Exactly. I can't see my screen. I think it's below because it's gonna buy.
No, it's on top of, ma'am. It's a bullish order
That's
block
what
sitting on top of the moving average.
So
if you want to make money, you got to buy it.
I said it's a bullish order block, but I'm just saying. But anyway, that's the summary of the week. And I also wanted to say that there are a lot of the order blocks that didn't, like when I said it continue to buy or continue to sell for the previous week. We got to stop forgetting about those previous week order blocks, because if it hadn't tapped in yet, it's going to go tap in. So those are opportunities that we probably do need to set up alerts to take advantage of those positions as well. That's all I got, Todd.
I think what I hear you saying is the dollar is going to sell this next week.
Basically, yes.
Okay. Gracias.
They nada.
All right. We already talked about Euro NZD. You know, here's a beautiful thing about us talking about Euro NZD. I just showed you how it's done, how I did it. And now I'm going to give you an opportunity to do the same thing this week. Okay. So hopefully you guys paid attention on that first block. And if not, just go back and rewatch exactly what I did. Because this pair is going to do the same thing. It's going to come back up and it's going to sell down again. All we got to do is take the sell. Okay. It closed below the moving averages, right? Now, maybe we'll get a decent size cook-off, you know? This is one of my favorite trades that I'll be looking for next week. We talked a little bit about GJ, but GF is the exact same scenario. Price pushed up, broke through the moving averages, came back and retested. And now we got the bullish order block on top of the moving averages. I'll look for this pair to push up. I want to see it break the high, the old high, the same way that GJ will break the old high. I know I've kind of gotten away from kind of showing you exactly, you know, where I would get in, but for me, you know, just for the people in the back who don't know, I'm always going to do this the same way. I'm going to put a fib on this candle. I'm going to put a fib on this last week's candle. I'm going to mark up my golden zone. I understand that the 78.6 is here, so price could come back anywhere, excuse me, in this area. I personally like to drop down to the 2-hour chart. When I drop down to the 2-hour chart, I want to pay attention to what's in my zone, right? So I see an order block here below my zone where the 78.6 is. There's an imbalance right here above it. So there's an order block at the 78.6. All of these are great areas for price to come down and turn around, right? So if I'm waiting to trade this pair, what I want to see is I want to see this price break bearish. I want to see it break and close below the moving averages. Then I'll look at picking up a sell position to sell it down at least to my golden zone and maybe even down to the 78.6. If I catch this setup correctly, right? And this is probably, you know, going to set up on the London session at the end of the Asian session or whatever. If I can catch this correctly, I can make all my money on the sell down. You know, it's like 150 pips down, you know, 100 or 200 pips on the heavy side if it goes all the way to the 78.6 before it turns around and starts pushing in my direction. To me, these are great setups, and the setups that I'm so used to trading that these are the ones that I kind of live for, you know. I like to see those huge weekly candles. Those are easy trades because they happen immediately when the market opens. There are no huge candles in my opinion this week. So these are my second favorite setups. You got the nice order block. You got an expected pullback, and then when it pivots and goes away, you can get in the buy as well. I like EN and I like GJ and GF, but there are also other trade opportunities. AUD, NZD. It's been, the AUD pairs have been very steady over the last few weeks. They've been falling off a cliff. It set us up for another bearish order block. I would look to trade it up and then back down if you're taking this trade. AUD JPY was last week's move, but as you can see, it kind of went up the tap in. I expect for AJ to keep pushing down. It's going to go up again, but I expect for it to keep pushing south. Along with the rest of these, I think AF might have been another one that was pushing down last week, same difference. I expect all these Australian dollar pairs to continue that downward march. You know, they didn't have great news. They had supply chain issues. You know, the fundamentals are on point for them to keep pushing to the downside. So if you're lost next week, you know, look to sell the Australian dollar. If you're looking for these setups and looking for these entries, you know, use your moving averages. You know, if you're in a trending pair that's trending down, think about what you need to see or what you want to see before before the market opens. A lot of times once the market starts moving, we kind of get discombobulated. It always helps to be able to go back to the weekly chart and kind of have a picture of what you want to see. What I do a lot of times is, you know, I'll take in my little logbook, this little Army logbook, whatever, and I just write, you know, my pairs that I'm interested in trading, whether they're bearish or bullish. That way, if it's Wednesday night, you know, and I'm looking for a trade setup, I can just look at whatever pair it is. I understand that this week it should be bearish. I can drop down to the 15 minutes, squeeze it all together, and it'll paint a picture for you. Hey, on the 15-minute chart, price has been bullish for the last 2 days, or bearish for the last 2 days. You know it's still going to be bearish. So you can hop right in the trade and cook it on down. I mean, however, you guys need to set your system up for it to work for you. You got to take the necessary action. Take notes, write down your questions, or write down the questions that you think you need answers for, you know, before you take the trade. And what I mean by that is if you think it's bearish, but you don't get a bearish order block on the 4-hour, but price is pushing down, how do you enter that trade? The answer is you drop down, right? To a lower time frame, it might give you an order block. Well, what if you are bearish on a pair and it's bullish? Hey, you're either not trading it, or you can do a quick reanalysis of that pair and take you a bullish position. I personally just ain't trading it, but if it goes against what I thought it would do that week, hey, I'll trade it next week. You know, it's so many pair that do exactly what we thought that they were going to do. I don't have time to get and play with those other pair, right? So these pair that I have marked in purple, Euro NZD, G Chef, GJ, and AN are order blocks this week, right? I think my EN is going to be one that I do trade. And I like GF a little bit better than GJ, even though GJ will probably give the best pip count. But I'm okay with it. I'll get my percentage out of EN for sure. And if not GF, I'll get it. If I get stumped, you know, somewhere along the way, these other pair that I have marked in red were the movers from last week. Chances are they're going to continue the direction that they were supposed to go last week. If I pull up GU, if you're a GU trader from last week, you expected GU to be bullish, right? It was kind of, you know, but it was a lot of indecision. So maybe it'll pull back a little bit and we'll get a run to the upside. You know, that could be something that I look at. NZD JPY. This is really, you know, one of my favorites, because I think this is going to be a huge move when this starts pushing to the downside. For those of you who like to see chalk, I have this daily chalk marked up. You got this push up that breaks this high right here. Price comes back down, immediately breaks this low. Price trades back up to the high. You can see it get rejected at this high. It's about to cook like Crisco, you know. This is a great setup. Great setup. It's going to pay a lot of pips, I think. So maybe you're a person that likes that setup better than the order block setups. If you do, you know, I mean, I would take that. You know, these JPYs are going to sell off. You know, at least AJ and NJ are. So if you're a believer, or if you prefer trading the JPYs over the, I don't know, over the chefs, then that's cool, or over the NZD. But these are the moves that are kind of telegraphed for us in this coming week. Be patient. You know, don't rush or feel like you're missing out on your setup. Be patient. Look for your trade. Check your trade. The JPYs may move on the Asian session. They might move on the London session. But you know, I would look for AJ and NJ to move early next week. You know, maybe that's when the market opens. I don't know, but I think those setups really have been in the making for the last couple of weeks. At least I've seen them. I've seen a setup. I've been tracking these things for a couple of weeks. So I think that we're going to get the move. We just have to wait for it to happen. So EN and GF are trades that I'm going to take. If this trade happens on Sunday, I'm definitely taking it, you know, because I think that this is going to be a high pip count trade, you know, the NZD JPY, and I've been tracking it for the last 2 weeks. You guys have any questions? Sure you do. Somebody has questions.
Sure. Look at chart 30, please.
What's that?
Can we look at chart 30, please?
Chart 30 was nowhere in that conversation. Why the heck are we talking about chart 30?
I just said, any questions?
Okay. The dirty Jer 30. Yes, ma'am. Well, now we're here.
Did it break structure? Not really.
Hey, look, you said, did it break structure?
Yeah.
Did it break this high, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know it didn't break that high, but this is, guys, this is the real question I have for y'all. What is the attraction to trade this pair? If I look at this chart, is this an attractive pair to trade based on this chart? Like, do you know what it's going to do based on this chart? I don't see any rejection at the top of this candle. It's not broken a level, it just stopped. Your guess is as good as Ray Charles's guess or anybody else's guess at what this pair is going to do.
Okay, thank you.
I think that
Yeah, hey Ray.
huh?
Ray Charles. That's like
Hey,
51.
no, I think I would not trade it until it gives me something, you know, like, I mean, there's an order block. I mean, maybe it's going to reject, maybe it's going to go right through. I just can't imagine why anybody would trade this at this point. You know, I can see it if you just didn't know how to trade anything else. But yeah, to me, just an ugly pair.
Todd, I got a question. On one of your pairs, were any of them easy money strategies? I'm sure you probably said it and I missed it.
No, it wasn't. But on this pair right here, like to me, this setup is better than the other one, right?
Yeah, it's clearer.
Yeah. So like I can see you say, hey man, can you talk about Nas? Sure. You know, I think Nas will push up, you know, but that Jer 30 was horrible.
Yeah, can you go
You know?
to US 30, please? Because I want to.
Well, same thing. You know, you got some indecision, but I think this is going to push up eventually too. The only thing that bothers me about this trade is this was a high. We broke this high. We pulled back.
Mm.
This could technically sell right here to solidify this chalk. Now I got it. A lot of this
Drop down the time frame.
Listen, a lot of this push up was news driven, right? But it does stand out in my mind that we didn't just break through this high.
And based off of based off of market structure, that's what I say. It's going to sell down based on.
Yeah, it could just keep selling. So I didn't come in here and say, man, I would just buy this up.
Yeah.
I personally would like to see this.
So it sold all day on Friday. So
yeah, I could see this selling, just selling, but
It's
again,
a monthly bearish order block where it's at the moment. So I see. I just wanted to know about because already it tapped into the bullish order block with that wick, but then it's caused it. It's formed a doji. So thank you for that, Kim and Todd. I just want to know.
Yeah, I don't like when I see chalk and then like to me, you get a double top right here. It's just it could cook. But I digress. I think the better trade setups are the ones that we discuss. This is just for month, So
thank you.
I think we'll push down to this imbalance mark because the dollar is going to rebound a little bit. So
Yes.
It's going to push down, basically, probably test your moving averages, and then I think it'll go up because I think the dollar's gold, silver, they're kind of similar. It's going to push down a little bit, and then it will push up. U.S. oil, man, fell off a cliff. I know we haven't really been talking about. Does anybody trade oil?
Alpha used to.
No, I'll just gauge it for inflation.
Yeah, but he cussed me out, so I stopped.
Oh my God.
It always sounds like a curse in Alpha. Yeah, I understand.
Definitely is trippy, yo. But yeah, I think U.S. oil is just gonna cook. I think China kind of screwed up everybody's oil trade. I don't mind though.
What happened with China?
Well, they're on again, off again with their COVID policy.
Oh.
You don't let them billion people drive, then the price of oil can't be what it is. All righty. You guys have any other questions? Hey, can somebody please make 10, 15%, 25, come back and tell a brother about it. We're sitting here on the cusp of greatness. And it's time to close out the year. 2023 should be like winner chicken dinner. Anybody else?
to ask like an off-top question? Did you suggest the rapid or the accelerated account if you wanted to trade a non-evaluation account?
Accelerated.
Thank-
Definitely the accelerated. Nope, I don't think so, Rose.
Todd, that's when you made your first million on Thanksgiving Day, right?
Thanksgiving Day last year was beautiful. I don't
Yeah.
anticipate doing that again, but you just never know.
Same with US 30. Well, Bob and I lost a ton of money last year.
But that's why I made all my money.
For Christmas, when we could have made a boatload of money the week of Christmas. We learned our lesson. We're good.
You're gonna make it this one, Kim. You're gonna make it all back and then some.
I sure am. I sure